Hello friends, welcome back. Let me ask you has this ever happened to you or your team? Like someone, maybe a junior or even a senior developer pushes a code directly to your main branch. There was no pull request, no reviews, no tests. Or maybe they did open a PR, but the only reviewer was someone with zero context of that part of the code base, and they approved it within 30 seconds. Now your billing service is completely broken. Or the worst case, right? Your CI is red, but the repo admin merged it anyway by bypassing using their privilege, and the protection goes down. If any of this sounds familiar, you need a branch protection rule and code owners. In the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to set them up. So let's frame this problem without what will happen without the enforcement of your in the GitHub repository, and all of these can happen right now. Example, like a junior developer pushes it directly to the main branch, no PR, no reviews, no tests, right? The PR is merged by someone with zero context. Terraform files change without DevOps sign-off. Or CI was broken, but someone merged it anyway with overriding privilege, and the production is completely crashed, right? And because there was no enforced rule. So all of these can happen, and we can prevent it by setting up specific rules, and this is completely preventable, right, by using the GitHub features. And once you set up those, and you have to never have to think about those again. You can do it in the repository, or if you have an organization, you can do it at the organization level. So the solution comes in two parts, right? One goal, but there are two tools from GitHub. One is called the branch protection rules. Think of this like a security guard at the gate of your important branches. So it enforces the how of merging, right? So you can't merge without a PR. You need at least 2 approvals, or CI has to be green. It's applied to everyone, even to admins. The second part is the code owners. This is the file that maps the part of your code base to the people who owns them. So when a PR is open that touches that part of code base, GitHub automatically assign the security reviewers, security team as a reviewer, or the DevOps team as a reviewer. When you touch a Terraform file, it goes to the DevOps team or platform team, right? It enforces the who for reviewing. Together, these two features mean that right people always review the right code and every time, right? Let me walk you through how exactly we can do this, right? What the branch protection give you, and we will do it on hands-on. So the options what we have to set in branch protection, the best practices is like every pull request, there should be a pull request, right, before pushing directly to the main branch. Period. You cannot push anything to main branch. It has to be through a pull request, and you need to have approvals. You set a minimum approval. So I would suggest there should be at least 2 approval if it's a production branch, and you should have a status check. Like your CI must be passed. The test, lin, security scan, all should be green before it can be merged. You should have an up-to-date branch, like the PR must be rebased to latest main branch, right? And when you talk about the code owners, you should have a code owner for reviewing. This is the magic connection, right? Without this setting, the code owner is just a decoration, and the specific experts for the chain file must be approved. So you should have this rule set up that require code owner reviews. Dismissing the stale review, so if someone pushes a new commit after the approval reset. And you also can block force pushes, so that there are no rewriting of history on protected branch. Or you can also enforce that even for admins there is no free pass. Everyone has to follow the rules, right? So apply these settings for main and also for release branches. Quick tip is that I've seen like people apply these rules only for main branches, but apply this for both branches. Don't be the team that misses the release branch. So let's see how we set up this through three methods. One is through GUI, the other one is through CLI, and the third one is through Terraform. I prefer the Terraform, but let's start with the GUI. So it's simple step. Go to settings, add branch protection. I'm going to show you rather than going through the slide. I'm going to show you with respect to a repository, but you can also do this from an organization perspective. You don't have to do it every repository. Okay. So go to the settings, you have the branches, go to the branch protection rule set, then give a name. This is the test rule set. Then you can enable this. If you see the bypass list, right? If the bypass list is blank, means there is nobody can override it. So even the admin has to follow it. So this is where you have to define if the admin can bypass it. Okay, and for targeting some branches, you add the pattern, right? So you add main as a target branch. You can also add releases slash, right? So you target both the main and release branch, right? So if you want to only have main, yes, it's fine, but I would say that you add both release branch and main branch, because release is very important as well as main, right? And about protection rules, right? An important one is like recur pull request, right? The deletion and the block forces were already default selected, so I will keep that as it is, but I will add the require a pull request before merging. And this is where you can set the approvals. So I will set two approvers. So you need to have two approvers to merge this, right? And you can also use the options like dismiss tail pull request when the knee commit has been done, right? There are options like require review from specific team, but I would go for a require review from code owners. So when you have set the code owners, it will take it by default, right? And then you can also see that other options where we can select multiple rules. You can also see like require status text to pass, right? That means you need to make sure that every checks are passed. And you can also see, you can also select require branches to be up to date before merging. So it can check that whether all the pull requests targeting the main must be tested and latest code, right? So you can define these rules and then you can create it, right? So once you create it, so I'm not creating because I need to log in with the two-factor authentication, but it's pretty simple. Just set this rule, then it will apply for your repository. As I said, you can also do this at the organization level. You go to your organization. I don't have an organization now, so I'm not able to show you. Sorry about that. But you can use the same way in that. So this is what we just show, like set these things through GUI. So I'm not going to go through the slide. Let's talk about the CLI. So you can also do the same thing through CLI. I'm not a big fan of this, but if you want to understand, what you need to do is just do a GitHub. You install your GitHub CLI, then you authenticate, then you apply through API. So you just do a put method, and then you give your repository where you want to do the branch protection. Then you define like enforce admin true, what you status check to be true. You should have the pull request review, right? And inside the record pull request, you should define dismiss tail, code owner review true, and you should have two approvers and the last push approval to be true, right? So, and you can verify these settings just using GitHub API and the same commands, right? The JQ, so you will get it as an output. So straightforward, I'm not talking too much, but super important or the recommended way is using Terraform. This is super important. And here's why the branch protection rules using Terraform is important, because you can do a version control on this code, right? You can review your changes for your security policy in a PR. you just like any other changes, right? So you can control all your changes to your GitHub repos branch protection as a Terraform code, right? The first line, which talks about the resource, right? So we are using the GitHub branch protection resource from the GitHub Terraform provider, and we point it to your repository, right? This is the repository ID, and we attach it to your main branch, right? And the second part is the pull request reviews, and this have a few block items, right? This block item have different options, and we are using 2 approval needed. So this is where we defining require approving review count should be 2. We are also using dismiss tail reviews should be true, and there is again the code owner reviews to be true, right? This links to the code owner file. So, and require last push approval. So this means like, the last person who pushed the code cannot be the final approver. So that's why it means like require last push approval. And you can also see the record status check section, where the strict code means like in the PR branch must be up to date, right? That's what the strict true means. And you also have this enforce admins true. That means even admins must follow the rules, right? And you can also see allow force pushes false. So there is nobody can do a force push, and they cannot rewrite the history, and allow deletion false, so that it's the branch is protected for hours. So I would recommend to use the Terraform file and simply create in your code repository and map it to your GitHub repository. You can manage it is like a toolkit. Then you should be able to manage everything, and not only these things, you have more GitHub resources, and you can integrate like your visibility of your project. When you create a repository, everything can be managed through Terraform for GitHub. Let's talk about the code owner, and this is like a plain text, and where you commit your repo that answer like one question, like who is responsible for this code. You can place it under under .github.codeowners, or it can be under the repo root. I've seen like usually these two places, like .github or the root file. What I recommend is put it under .github, and you create a file called CODEOWNERS, and you put the name of the people or the team. Usually I recommend to put to the team. So you should see that it support different format, like you can use username, individual GitHub username, or you can use team, like slash team name with the org, like if it's from your org slash the team name. You can also do with email, but as I said, the recommended approach should be using a team, GitHub team. So that's the best way. What does is like it automatically assign reviewers when a PR is opened, right? And it's also block the merge until the code owners approve it because of the branch protection, right? And last matching pattern wins it, like .git ignore, and also it shows the code owner review required badge on the PR. So critical information is code owners alone does not block this merge, because I showed you in the branch protection you should enable the option like require review from code owners. Just look at a simple syntax, right? You can how do you write a code owner file? So the simple syntax is like just a pattern and space with the space owner, right? For example, the backend, we say it has to be reviewed with the backend team, right? The auth backend auth should be reviewed by security, right? Which it can be more specific. You don't have to be at top level. So it's super simple. We just say that okay, this path has to be reviewed with this one. So it catches everything that is in match by any specific rule below. Like you put a star. So if you put a star, it can catch anything. So put this first in your file. So everything comes out of, if nothing is there, then it will goes to this team. Super simple. Let's see how the branch protection and code owner work together in real PR. So developer opens a pull request, right, and it touches like auth service or Terraform file. Then instantly GitHub reads this code owner file, and it get assigned to like Alice or security team. Get auto assign, right, and or even DevOps team based on which file, and it kicks the CI kicks immediately and tests lin security everything. After that, the code owner reviews the change, right, and the backend needs at least 2 approver. because we set up the branch protection and it's validates to reviewers, right? And it's been approved. The CI is green, the checks all is green based on the rule, then it will merge, right? The code is completely safe. So without this setup, anyone can merge anything, right? Wrong person can approve, CI gets bypassed. But with this strong setup of your branch protection and code owners, expert always reviewed, CI always pass, and you have a full audit trail. Some best practices which I could like to share when you use in production. So always use the teams, not users, right? As I said, org/team. That's the best practices. And enable the code owner reviews in the branch protection. Store your branch protection as a Terraform, right? Don't use like GUI or GitHub CLI. And protect the release branch as well, right? As I said, some teams only use main, but also set the branch protection for release. And have the code owner reviews reviewed and maintained, because there will be stale owners causing the PRs to block. So always review your code owner file and dismiss stale reviews, right? So this prevents sneaking in last minute changes after approval. So always review dismiss the stale review. So once approved, you cannot if you make some changes, it has to go through next approval. So here's your action plan for today, right? Just 3 steps and do them today. First one, enable your branch protection. Set your main and release branch require 2 reviews, CI, code owners, approval, set and force admins to true, right? Second one, create your code owner file under .github and map every critical directories to the team that own them, right? And third one, store your settings as a Terraform code, which is like a version control, and make your security policy is reviewable as an application as a code. So that you should do immediately if this is not in place. And drop a comment below, like what does your team currently use for code reviews enforcement. I'm genuinely curious, like do you use something else, or have you found a creative way to set this up? If this video saved you some time to learn about code owners and branch protection, and if you like this, smash the like button, and I would also request you to subscribe. And genuinely, I want to say that your like and your comment help these videos to reach others and help me to grow, right? So I post regularly videos on GitHub, DevOps, platform engineering, deep dives. So I'm looking forward to see you on the next one. So thank you for watching, and please let me know your comments.